Hi guys, welcome back to Daily Astrology. Today I'm going to be doing this video for the transit of Saturn, and in the transit Saturn is getting in the retrograde in motion from July 13th onwards. Now I promised in the monthly reading for the month of July that I will be recording the transit video for Saturn's retrograde because it's a crucial one, and I wanted to share some perspective with you guys as to how it can be impacting us. Now Saturn, of course, is considered to be a malefic, and thereby when a planet which is retrograded, which is considered to have a very high Cheshtabal, a part that is seen in the Shadbala. Many of you who come to my readings, I share the Shadbala scores as well for each of the planets with you guys. And there you would have noticed that it is a component, it's a part. And depending on the Shadbala score of a planet in your chart, you are able to realize that what sort of an impact, positive or negative, auspicious or inauspicious, can be seen in your life. And thereby, in general considerations, Saturn, which is considered to be a malefic, when he gets retrograded, usually because of that Cheshtabal being high, because now the Shadbala overall being higher than normal, the ability of this malefic planet to deliver results is increased. Now, whether or not Saturn's impact in your chart through the transits retrograde will be positive or negative will highly be dependent on the score, on the strength, on the dignity of Saturn in your natal chart. Now, again, I cannot be giving you general indications on that front. Very crudely speaking, somebody might say that an exalted Saturn in most of the charts or in the charts where it is a yoga karaka planet like that for Libra is usually delivering good results. But I have noticed that people with exalted Saturn in Libra or in other zodiacs as well, they tend to struggle with their lives even in their Saturn dashas in Sadesatis. Now, why is that? Because you've got to understand that what is the dignity? Is it direct? Is it retrograde? What is the Shadbala of your planet? How is it positioned? What house, what placement? And based on that, within the particular sign, what kind of points he is getting within Pisces, for example, if he is transiting right now, what sort of points he is getting. And thereby, you will be able to derive a much more comprehensive understanding. However, since it is my fiduciary responsibility to share a generalized perspective which can have an overarching effect, I will be talking during the course of this video to give you a sense that what you should anticipate. But the accurate measure of it will come through if you are able to analyze your natal version as well. I hope, folks, you get a perspective of what I'm trying to say here. And now we should just deep dive to see what sort of a impact you will see with this transit, folks. Now, Virgos, for you, Saturn happens to be the lord of your fifth house and your sixth house. And he's stationed in the sign of Pisces in your seventh house, where he's become retrograde. So you have to understand this is tad bit of a difficult position. It's the sixth lord sitting in your seventh house. He's the fifth lord as well, but a sixth lord sitting in the seventh house getting retrograded means that a malefic planet like Saturn getting too much of a part is going to bring certain degree of complications too. Now, Virgos, the good part is that given that your Rashi Lord, if you are watching this from a Virgo moon perspective, or your ascendant Lord, if you are watching it as a rising sign, is Mercury itself, who has a friendly relationship with Saturn. So, though the impact of the Saturn may not be that negative, but you will have to also look into the strength and dignity of Saturn in your natal, like I had alluded a couple of minutes back, to derive at a more comprehensive understanding and gauge where this impact will pan out. But when fifth lord is in the seventh, one thing is for sure, relationships are going to materialize into formal connections. But that retrogression also denotes that first and foremost, there will be challenges coming in your relationships. Now, whether you are married or unmarried, Any kind of relationships that you are pursuing, any kind of partnerships that you are into, you will feel that there is a certain degree of misunderstanding, confusion, fear, anxiety, complications that could start creeping in. And is thus going to be extremely important. Virgos, Mercury is your lord. You understand communication pretty well. That you will have to be on top of your A game when it comes to communication here, so that you could tackle the challenges, the problems that can creep into your relationship. Now, I have been highlighting this for every zodiac sign. Saturn's movement is towards the sign of Aquarius, where Rahu is already placed, and Saturn is the lord of Aquarius sign, like the co-owner Rahu. And we cannot be determining anything in isolation. Whilst I'm trying to make a Saturn retrograde video, we have to see that there is a Atichari fast moving Jupiter which will be coming in, trying to this Saturn as well at the last part of this transit in October, November, when he will be in your 11th house. But currently he is placed in your, square to Saturn in your 10th house itself. But as Saturn moves in this transit position, it will be a slow start to begin with. It will accelerate before he becomes direct at the fag end of this retrogression. That you will realize that the impact of technologies, impact of digitalization, AI specifically, there could be a major break that could come during this phase itself. And thus, for you to embed that technological impact in your life is also going to be crucial. It is going to be coming in from the sixth house perspectives, means that for your day to day job, at your workplace, in your competitive landscape, if you're a student watching this video, he is ruling your fifth and your sixth, very important and crucial planet. And it's in a way positive for you guys that he is becoming retrograded. So there is a sign that anything aspects to that sixth house bit, any competition, any job, your day-to-day affairs, the way you are structuring your regimen, your health related matters, you could leverage technology. Now, I'm not saying you could leverage technology to fix your health, but you can bring use of technology to discipline your life. You will have to look into that aspect, and I would want to emphasize on that bit. Saturn is coming closer to Rahu. There is going to be a magnification of sixth house aspects. From a competition perspective, this is going to be a good thing because it is going to enable you fiercely accomplish and overcome the obstacles coming your way. You will be able to face those challenges with a lot of rigor, self-belief, faith, and creativity. You will have varied way of ideas to tackle those problems. Outside box thinking. Out of the box thinking is what you are going to embed while facing some challenges. So that is a good bit that is going to come into play. This Saturn in retrogression is also ignite or is going to propel you towards finding that discipline. You might have promised that you have to stick with a certain regimen, with a certain schedule, but you might not have embedded that in your day to day charter. This retrogression is going to give you that opportunity to revisit that, to see that how you can discipline your life so that your partnerships, so that your connection, be it in your marriage, be it in your relationships or partnerships of any kind in a formal setup, you are able to deliver your fullest. You are ready when this Saturn becomes direct. So that big bit becomes crucial here. There will be chances that somebody might try to cheat you, might want to, take you for a ride. But don't worry. Retrogression of Saturn in this case is going to be positive for you because you are not going to get bluffed by anybody. You will know how and where to tackle what sort of problem. Then this is going to be crucial from a health perspective. I want to give this call out, caveat, warning very clearly to you guys, Virgos. You will have to be focused towards your health. You will have to find some time to, in a disciplined fashion, in a regular, day to day structured approach, focus towards your diet, focus towards your exercise, focus towards your health. Or else you could be anticipating some unexpected expenses coming in your way, some unexpected losses coming your way, especially related to your health. This may not be the best period for you to charter on taking unplanned loans, something with respect to financial leap of faith that you are embarked upon that has not been planned from, and you want to simply jump into that bandwagon during the course of these 4.5, 5 months. I will ask you to deviate or at least stall, or if nothing, wait for the last phase of it when Jupiter is giving you some bit of relief as well, when he is into the sign of exaltation in Cancer. At least in the first couple of months, you must refrain from making any kind of major financial decisions, or even any kind of new partnerships. There will be a lot of confusion, disrespect, challenges, problems that will, prop up in new partnerships at this point in time. This is not the best period for people who have been in relationships and trying to materialize that into marriage. Now, marriage is a big decision. This transit is all the way till almost the last week of November. So I would want you to please revisit your natal chart, Dasha, Antardasha, and see that you have a decent position of your seventh lord, Jupiter, both from your Lagna as well as moon perspective. Check out the Dashas that you're going through so that you can take a more comprehensive, structured, proper call on that front. But just from a transit perspective, this is not giving a great sign for people to materialize their relationships into marriage for now. This could also be a little tricky for people who are planning to conceive, who are planning to, who are already in their journey of being pregnant and stuff. Please take proper care of your health during the course of this period. Now, there will be unexpected confusion. There will be situations of breakup scenarios coming in for people who are in romantic relationships, not married. The only way out would be either to watch on your communication or just succumb to it. Don't get egotistical with matters here at this point in time, or it could set you apart. The reconciliation period would either be at the fag end of it or post retrogression period only. Else, there will be a lot of confusion, disparity between you and your partner. From an education perspective, I want to re-highlight that this is going to be a good period for you to visit, some new streams, new educational interests that you want to pursue, planning for new, college admissions, pursuing new degrees. From all those areas perspective, it is going to pan out much better. Now, we have to also understand this retrograded Saturn will be giving retrograded aspects too. And the first and foremost of that would be coming to your ninth house. This is a time where you will have to take care of the health of your father. They might face certain difficult situations at their workplace from their health perspective, and you might have to support them there. This is also going to be a time where you have to roll up your sleeves and support your bosses, your superiors at workplace. If you're a student, please, lend that extra hand to your guru, to your mentor, to your teacher. Why? Because I don't expect you to be rewarded just yet during this retrograde phase, but this effort, that extra amount of energy that you might have to put for your senior management, for your leadership, for your teachers will not go waste. In fact, this is going to be a period where supporting them will be an eye opener for you, as you might realize that you have to either reskill yourself, upskill yourself, or just by supporting your superiors, you could end up learning a lot of new things beyond your job description. You are working in one sphere of academia, you are working in one sphere of your business, your job, and you realize that whilst you are taking that additional bit of load to support your higher ups, you end up learning new areas which will be much more positive in the longer scheme of things as this transit continues over the next 1.5, 2 years. So it is going to be crucial that you don't shy away from work, and reward might as well result once Jupiter is into the 11th house and it becomes trine. Yes, he will be retrograded too, but he becomes trine. That is where you will find that the rewards might percolate within this retrogression period itself. So it can be an optimistic outlook for you. There will be challenges for people who are planning for long journeys, long duration journeys as well. There will be certain complications that will come through, but do not worry. It will be crucial for your overall growth, because Saturn, and especially if it is in connection with a foreign place far away from your current residence, and that is why I was alluding to long distance journeys, because Saturn is giving an aspect to your first house, to the sign of Virgo as well, but it's a retrograded aspect. You will realize that your time, effort, energy will get drained into areas which are least outcome giving, least rewarding. And yet, I want to tell you folks, and yet it is necessity that you put your efforts in that direction. That this aspect is something that reminds me on the health call out that I gave because of retrogression towards the 6th from the Saturn, that health perspective wise, you will be least anticipating any problem coming your way. You will be least expecting, drainage of your energy, but it will happen. And that is why you have to take care of your health too. One of the remedy of that to happen would be you exercising, hitting the gym, running out, brisk walking. Actually, not running, brisk walking for Saturn, amazing. Just long walks in the evening post. One of the excellent remedies during this period, guys. If you are facing negative outcomes of Saturn, then do that. Or else, I don't want you to see this as a negative outcome because, see, understand Saturn's mindset is little sadistic. Like I keep repeating in my Mahadasha videos of Saturn and the other Mahadasha videos where I've talked about Saturn Antardasha. He likes to take the test. He's a little sadistic. He likes to complicate things and then realize that whether or not this native is capable, he is deserving enough. Should I be rewarding? So these challenges in the relationship front, that extra toil that you have to put at your work front with your teachers, with your superiors, from a health perspective, working out in the gym is just your preparation. It is your answer to Saturn that, yes, I'm there. I'm up for it. Bring it on. That is how you should approach it. There could be situations where you will feel, and could be not, you will feel that things are going out of hand. You are putting in efforts for what not, whatever you are getting is not what you deserve. There is much more that should be there online. But this is how the planet is going to test you. It's going to test your mettle. And you have to preserve that perseverance, that patience, that zeal in you to encounter it. That's the aspect of Saturn to the Lagna giving you. Travel related to foreign areas are probable. Some complications will come, but you will sail through. Those last minute changes, flight changes, delays, some kind of, luggage mismatch, losing something there, losing of some property, some asset. I'm not saying something huge, but, you dropping your wallet somewhere. Now you have to redo the entire activity of getting your driver's license, your ATM cards and whatnot, all the stuff that you keep in your wallet, in your purse. Those kind of things are going to happen, Virgos. So you will have to be careful. Why am I talking that bit too? You see, Saturn from here is giving an aspect to your fourth house. It's your house of assets, property, bank balances, your peace of mind. And that peace of mind could also get interrupted, could get impacted during this time, this period. See, from this position, Saturn is impacting both your ninth and fourth. So from a health perspective, not just your health, because it's coming to the Lagna too, but your parents' health as well is going to be crucial, and you will have to take certain measures, precautions in place or support them. If not onto your mother, it will impact you emotionally, it will impact your mental peace. You could be boggled with so many activities at your end, so many actions to be taken at your end that you might not figure out the right way to prioritize things. But at the same time, the Saturn is going to incline you towards pushing harder because he's bringing that sixth and third angle to the play in your life. He's going to push you to work harder. He's going to push you to strive further in whatever you want to achieve. Saturn is going to, bring you closer to your siblings during this period. You might look back and see that, revisit that old bookshelf and see what kind of hobbies, what kind of a collection you had, and maybe just revisit that nostalgia. That bit could also happen. Traveling back to your place of origin or revisiting your older connections, your past connections could come into play during this retrograde period. It is almost going to be like there was some sense of connection, either closed or not in the making at this point in time, which you would want to repair, which you would want to indulge in, or just sheer nostalgia that might take you somewhere. And it might require, trigger a travel as well for you folks. So I cannot bucket that as a good or a bad, but those kind of experiences are going to come into play. Religion or religious travel, spiritual travel is going to be prominent. Many of you could embark upon pilgrimages, Virgos. You could travel to, places, resorts kind of places, wellness resort kind of activities where you do some Ayurvedic treatment or some Reiki practices that people follow. That kind of interest could also ignite for this 5.5 month duration period. All in all, Saturn is going to throw some tests. That is the core message. You have to remember that you have to focus towards your own health. You have to help your parents and see that everything is doing well, going well from their individual health perspective too. You will have to spare in some time to have that nostalgic connect. But at the same time, you will have to put in enormous amount of effort at your workplace, in your education, in your business. Repair connections, especially from a partnerships standpoint, work towards your relationships. And it is going to be more of a test for you guys. It is not a difficult one as long as you understand what is anticipated. That is why you guys are here. And if you are going to sail through that, you will see that at the later part of this retrogression, when Jupiter is also fixing things in that trine alignment with Saturn, it is going to give the right rewards in your direction as well. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dave Astrology, and keep watching.